Yeah, like that. It was a brave performance. Obviously, we've lost a few earlier in the week due to that stuff, and then lost a few early in the game. Losing 2 forwards early in the game makes a challenge, a real challenge, and then losing another one as the game goes. So everyone dug in, and we had people playing everywhere, and we found a way again. It was I thought we were pretty calm amongst all the chaos, which is very pleasing. When you're under pressure, you want to play calm. So,
I mean, it wasn't the start I guess you'd have envisaged or wanted, but I guess what came after that was a real a plus.
Yeah, I didn't think we started that badly. You know, the scoreboard probably doesn't suggest otherwise, but we're actually in decent control. You know, Parcell, that won't be the last try he scores from throwing a dummy. You know, he's made a career on that, and I thought we defended our line really well. Couple of kicks were particularly difficult to defend, and they scored. I know they all count as points, but we actually weren't playing that badly. And then we felt like if we maintained a level of possession, that we'd be able to trouble them.
The energy you got from Brad Dwyer's try, and that's just classic Brad, I guess.
Yeah, he's playing really, really well. He's taking his role, whatever it is, bench or starting. He's taking it in his stride, and he's playing a good brand and good style and enjoying himself.
I know there are a couple of players who aren't going to be around beyond this year, and obviously Mustafa was one of those, but he was another one who stood up and gave you loads of punch. Yeah,
really proud of him. He got a long ban for an accident gone wrong, and he used that time to sort of renovate and rebuild his game. He didn't put his head down. He worked on his game, so I'm really proud of what he did the other week when he played a little cameo against Wigan, and then he went to Bradford to play a bit last week, get some more game time, and then today he had to step up big time, and he did. So really proud of what Muzzy's done, and shows that there is some depth in this squad as well. We've called upon blokes that haven't played a lot this year, and they've stood up and played a good style.
I guess I know that sort of injuries have sort of dictated who you can pick, but I mean the people are putting their hand up for you, aren't they?
Well, suspensions mostly, and I'm all for player safety, that's for sure. But yeah, we've been restricted. We've been restricted by our what we can do to select a team. But there's never an excuse. Sometimes there's reasons for maybe not playing as well as you like, but there's never any excuse. There's never any chat about who's not playing. It's always about who is playing, and we've done that a few times now.
Rohan, can you give us an injury update? As you mentioned, Bodene, Cameron.
Yeah, Cam and Bodene are in an ambulance on the way to hospital in Wakefield to be, particularly Cameron, to be reassessed. He's got a thumb injury that may need some work on it tonight. I don't know time frames and all that kind of stuff on that. They can do some pretty special things, so let's see. Bodene had a rib situation, and he's one of the toughest blokes I've come across anyway, and he was getting ready to try and come back on at some point, but the pain was going through the roof, so we weren't going to muck around with that one, and he'll be assessed a little bit later as well. Harry's done hamstring, yeah.
Same one as...
I actually didn't ask it. It's not really even that important. It's just a hamstring, so either way, it's not good news.
He looked good. We saw some clips from the change room, and he looked absolutely devastated, as is natural. How do you pick him up from here, given World Cup, a third hamstring injury in a season? He potentially ends this season. He must be in a bad spot right here.
Yeah, he's definitely very disappointed. He's putting a lot of work into his body over the last period of time. He's looking strong and fit. He's working on his game. Like, he's playing both sides of the ball at a very high level. We're all disappointed, but we'll wait and see what the verdict of the scan is to see what the severity is, and fingers crossed it's something he can come back from this year.
James Bentley didn't feature. He got an ankle, didn't he, late on in that game?
Yeah, James battled through the back end of last week. We did take him off. It settled okay, but only until he sort of did an opposed session on Wednesday, and he pulled up a little bit grumpy from that. And again, he's another tough customer, and he's been playing a little bit busted for a period of time, but this one was one where he just couldn't push off his foot this morning, so we'll have to see how that one is this week.
moving on to more positive things, 6 wins in 7 now. You've got a gap between yourselves and the chasing pack. But beyond that, just how proud are you of what this group has managed to do in a relatively short space of time in terms of results, but more so performances?
Yeah, I'm certainly proud. That's for sure. You know, when you're coming into a group mid-season, you don't know exactly what to expect. But I'd done enough homework to know that things weren't that bad, despite maybe what the ladder said or people external to the club. I think the group were okay. There's plenty of talent in there and a reasonable amount of depth. And maybe I just got here at the right time as far as people were coming back from injury and suspension and whatnot. I'm certainly proud of them, but the group was already a good one. So the work that's been done, from the start of last pre-season is what's and everywhere in between. That's the journey. It's not this last couple of months just alone.
You mentioned about winning in different ways. You've won with some great rugby at times, and tonight there was some good stuff as well. But you really had to dig deep again. Craft, win ugly, grit, all that sort of stuff. It's probably been lacking, or that this team has been accused of lacking that at times, even this season. Has there been a marked improvement there, or do you think it's not quite?
I think the emphasis I really put on defence is to do it together. It's not just about can you make your tackles, but can you work together and keep moving. And the way we practice is up tempo and fast at training. So trying to make the game feel a little slower once there's a wrestle and a contact involved. That the running part of it's a bit easier. I think we're turning up, we're scrambling, but that's how we practice. So we don't really talk about grit or stuff like that. It's just like, do your job, just keep moving, do your job. When we get the ball back, well, job done. Someone can carry the ball now, and happy to go end-to-end footy. There was talk of a water break today at 20 degrees, so I'm not sure what that was about, but I don't know if they ended up having one.
I mentioned for Zane, who played the full 80 minutes.
Yeah, through necessity today. I said it before he came back last week when someone asked me about, is he going to be fit to go kind of thing. And Zane's an extremely professional player. He's very fit. He's dedicated. He does more recovery prep than anyone I've probably seen over my time. So he takes care of what he's got. He's in his body, and he's played a lot of edge back row as a young player. And when we lost Bodene on top of losing Bentley yesterday, we were a little bit short there. And I sent a message out to ask if can you do the 80, play right edge for us, and he said, yeah, happy to. And he did it pretty comfortable. So he'll be back in the middle next week, but it was a good shift for Zane, and something that you could see the fans getting right behind him as well.
You could see his name in lights almost, couldn't he, when he went through on that right edge. Almost scored. Yeah,
he could have used a bit of footwork, but I think that was the front rower coming out in him. He just thought, I'll just keep running straight and hard. But he did a really, really good job, particularly defensively on that edge. Hull are very threatening out there on that on their left edge. So he did a really sound defensive job for us.
The order. The Deliveroo was on its way. Bingo. Deliveroo. Food, we get it.